We bought each other £2,000 hot hatches.
And today we're gonna modify them.
Will bought me this stolen Honda Civic Type R.
And Edwin bought me this crash-damaged Focus ST.
We're each gonna fix our broken cars and then we've got £500 to modify them.
And we'll also buy each other one secret mod. So I need to replace my front wing because it's dented. So I bought an exhaust instead. This cost me half of my mod budget and it's gonna make it so much louder. So let's get the old one off. Do you know what? I actually didn't get to work on mine that much. I did like little tiny bits, but I never got to get like underneath it and do stuff. So this is cool. Well, I'll say it's cool. In about an hour, I might be going, this is the worst experience of my life.
How many standard ST exhaust systems have been lost to the sands of time?
Oh, they're legit worthless. I found a standard one for sale. It was £20 and it was like listed 6 weeks ago.
I gotta say, your pipe control is incredible. I know people that would pay for this sort of treatment. Hell, he's absolutely slonking this.
Old exhaust out, it was time for the new one. Exhaust off, FOMO Co, fear of missing out company. So this is a 3-inch exhaust system, which is half an inch bigger than this. And half an inch for £250 is not to be sniffed at.
I'd pay £250 for half an extra inch.
I'm gonna need a few of those £250.
I might need a couple grand.
But we also have, look at that, big ugly ass box in there. That is silencing me like an oppressive government. This is democracy manifest. Bullshit aside, this will sound better, it's better quality, and possibly a little bit extra performance because it's better flowing and stuff, but it's for the noise, really. It's for the noise.
Isn't it also really thoughtful that someone came in the night and stole your catalytic converter?
And then they swapped it out with just a metal pipe.
Oh, curse you.
The police will be round.
Oh, I meant to say, can I get an ST impression, please?
Bang, 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 bang. Pull over! You're banned for 42 days.
Will found fitting the new exhaust rather tricky. You're coming like it's an anaconda on your neck. Come on, you bitch.
There we go. That's the exhaust fitted.
That is the new exhaust. I've just noticed something. Will, can you put that gasket up?
This is the equivalent of me putting a very tight rubber band around the middle of my penis. Is that bad?
It's not good.
So what can we do to remedy that?
New gasket.
Okay, but what can we do at 4:30? The answer was not a lot right now. So I got the exhaust in anyway and moved on to my next mod. What is going on here? You're meant to be filming and I'm meant to be doing exhaust fitting.
Yeah?
Yeah, you are, massaging my brakes.
The spaff was to hand and you were busy doing exhaust stuff. So I thought I'll clean your calipers quickly because no one likes a dirty caliper. At that point, Will was finished with the exhaust, so he got his new lowering springs unboxed, ready to install them.
So 150 quid of my budget has gone on some lowering springs.
Where to first, Skipper?
So, we want to take 1 bolt out, we want to take 2 bolts out, we want to take 5 bolts out in total. Whizzer out, compressor down, new spring in, stick it back in, do the other 3, sit lower, be cooler.
What? It's nothing, don't worry. That wasn't useful. It's better.
It is better. As far as I'm aware, don't take my word for it, but take my word for it. I think this is just for noise anyway. So if you take this off, you're just going to get more noise.
NVH, and what does that stand for, Will?
That stands for not vehicular.
Henry.
It stands for noise, vibrations, and harshness.
Correct.
This is exactly what I want.
Yeah, I want all of those things.
You could clean that. Excellent. Oh, cool, man. Can we take my springs out yet?
Not yet, hold on. Tell me this isn't coming up nicely.
Yeah, but my car's no lower. That is a very long spring, and I'm about to replace it with one that's shorter, lower, better. I'm better.
Scare time.
Springs are coming off. Look at that. Goodbye, mate.
Bang!
Ah! I shit my pants. What? Can't take that. So before we carry on modifying these horrible cars, this is a quick reminder that if you're buying a used car, you should always run a car vertical check, just like we did with these two.
Every single day, hundreds of cars, just like this one, get crashed, written off or stolen, and some of them get put back on the road in an attempt to hide that dodgy history. With a car vertical report though, you can find out that shady past.
All you have to do is enter your VIN or your reg number and Car Vertical will tell you if that car has been crashed, clocked or stolen.
Now this is my Civic that Will bought me for this challenge, and thankfully we were looking for crash damaged cars, so when you put the VIN in, it comes back as damaged. Early in 2006, this car was written off for structural damage, but a Car Vertical report is what told us this and gave us peace of mind.
And if you look at this Peugeot 308, it's got green ticks for mileage and finance, but it also has a yellow tick for damage. And if you look at the photos, look at that, the wheel and the entire strut has come off. So that has had a massive impact. It's probably bent the chassis. It is going to be a nightmare to repair. So if you see this car up for sale looking absolutely pristine with a Car Vertical report, you can find out this shady past.
So the next time that you're buying a stolen Civic, a crashed Focus ST, or anything in between, make sure that you run a Car Vertical report to make sure the price you pay for it matches its history.
And as a little added bonus, Car Vertical have offered you guys 20% off when you use code TDC.
Your top mount was full of ants.
Whatever that was, I didn't look good.
Were those ball bearings?
Why are there ball bearings in my suspension?
It wasn't supposed to go down like this.
Honestly, we didn't see it coming. They just came flying out of there.
After realising that I would in fact need new bearing thingies for the suspension, I was at a dead end. So Edwin abandoned me and put his £100 worth of detailing products to good use.
You can now tell, now that it's clean, that there's about 70 different shades of badly hand-painted colour on this car. It's not about the dog, it's about the owner. There's no such thing as a bad dog, it's just a bad owner. Even if this car fails its MOT and it dies, for the last 2 weeks of its life, it gets to live nice and happy and clean. Before this dog gets put down, it can go for one last run.
So it's the next morning, I've been and collected my parts. I've no longer got ball bearings everywhere, so I can finally put the springs back in. And Edwin is still cleaning this morning.
Listen, leave me be in my happy place, okay?
Also, where has the leather sofa come from?
You've taken the stool and I need to sit and do this, so it's only fair, seeing as you stole it from my house, that I get to use it. Look, I know this is dumb, but it's the little things. Just gotta make this thing a little bit nicer first.
So you have an engine light, all your suspension is knackered, all your brakes are knackered, and so far you've cleaned the car and you're now polishing the exhaust.
And I do it again. Oh, it's not perfect. That's better. The can of Japan lives again.
Meanwhile, Will was trying to make actual mechanical progress by getting the lowering springs in, but that wasn't going particularly well.
I actually hate working on cars. I hate it.
I'm just having lots of fun polishing my car, I'm just making progress, I'm just happy.
Yeah, but your car's still broken.
Yeah, but don't you feel the same thing about this car?
Yeah, no, I love it. I love that I have to line this up like some kind of Chinese puzzle that doesn't have an answer. How many arms has a human got? Answer me that in the comments and then come back to me and show me how I can have 3 to do this job. And calves the size of a ox to stay on my knees.
I'm actually getting bored of watching this now.
Yeah, I'm at bull height.
You have not got it in the right orientation.
Maths. All of those bolts. This car.
Can I have it then?
Yeah, sold.
Wow, that's how you know it's getting bad. Because Will wants this car now. He's decided he wants this car after the series.
Not anymore. It can go and its own.
Can't bleep. That's all got to be bleeped. I wish you could have heard what he said.
All right, I'm going to say it's like it's whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay, it's this. It's this.
It's like that.
No, it's like that. That also makes more sense, but surely you want more support on this side, which is close to where the pressure's going against. It's that way around, I promise you.
Let's not argue, we're all hot hatch owners here.
Right, that's one bolt in, which I've had before. There's 2 bolts in here. It's all about this big third bolt.
Oh, it's just threading in quite nicely. That's quite nice, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Yeah. We need to do another video where you sell me back the Clio and teach me how to do car.
With my front suspension finally in, Edwin got his Civic up in the air, ready for some visual mods.
All of our tyres are a little bit dodgy, and we don't want to be doing a trip and perhaps a track day on them. So we're going to get all of our tyres changed. Tyre Streets have very kindly sent us out some tyres. So I'm going to get my wheels off. Will's wheels are already off. I'm going to take them to the tyre shop. Got some nice fresh new tyres.
Meanwhile, I'm getting these in. They're red, and they will be much lower and better.
As you can see, that's what a normal tyre looks like, and this is just bold.
So off I went to the tyre shop, but when I got back, Will had some questions about my wheels.
Fresh new tyres.
And different wheels.
Huh?
I'm assuming that's in your budget.
That's what I spent the majority of my budget on. I bought, for £300, a set of Mitsubishi Evo wheels. Some incredible man in the early 2000s worked out that Evo 789 wheels go perfectly on an EP3 Civic. They're not the nicest condition, they've got some curb rash and they've got all kinds of chipping from paint and stuff, but they'll do for me, 300 quid. We thought we were gonna stick the cars on an even playing field because perhaps next episode, they might be going up against each other. Tyre Street UK very kindly sent us out some Accelera 651s. If you need tyres in the UK, grab yourself some.
And better yet, Tyre Street's are offering you 10% off if you use our code TDC.
Before getting the wheels on though, I needed to replace the EP3's brakes, and meanwhile, Will was making very, very slow progress on the ST.
All this time, I've been on these, and am I any closer? There's a spring down there. That's not where it's meant to be. None of these bolts move, so what am I to do? Edwin, I'm giving up. I've got front springs, so I've got that rake needed for a front-wheel drive automobile. But there is one more problem. I can't do up my rear anti-roll bar.
Why?
Because everything's rounded and rusted. This one is not that bad. I might be able to do this, but that one is rounder than a tit.
While Will dealt with that, I carried on with my brakes, which also weren't going well.
Here we go. Just got to run up and sneak up on it. Ready? We go one more time. One more time. No, that's gone. Drill time. While I'm doing this, would you like to pan over to see Will's car progress? Will's not a very happy boy right now. He chose this life. He chose to be excited about an ST. Meanwhile, Civic out here, it's doing what it wants. It's being easy on me. Please be easy. It's not being easy. I just love brake fluid on my hands. It's one of my favourite things. It makes me really happy, almost so happy that it could be confused with anger. And as always, a huge thank you to Febi Bilstein for sending us all of these OE matching quality parts to improve our cars back to proper roadworthiness. This Civic was not long for this world, but now it might have a fighting chance. Hit the link in the description if you want to pick up any OE matching quality parts for your car. Look at this guy hacking into the mainframe on the... I'm logging into the anti-roll bar right now. We've gained access to comms on the rear strut.
With that side done, I noticed something about the new brake calipers.
On the Febi caliper, they've actually got it's stamped ST for Will's car. You seen that, Will?
Who made 180 horsepower and who made 250 horsepower?
Hey, listen, who's got brakes?
In trying to take my old springs out and put lowering springs in, I removed some stuff and buggered some things up. Now I can't get the springs out, so I'm going to keep the standard ones, and I've just had to run out and get some new anti-roll bar drop link thingies. So I'm no further than I was, perhaps, what feels like 3 days ago.
I was though, because the new brakes were done, so I got the new wheels fitted.
By that point, I was done dealing with the rear springs, so I turned to something easier.
I'm going to service the ST. Even though this is the better of the two cars, still do basic maintenance. Yes, as you can see, this is oil.
And while Will was busy with that, I got my new O2 sensor in, hoping that it would get rid of the Type R's check engine light.
If it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh well, I tried my best. Oh, can I have the penetrant, please, someone? It's just there. That's oil. I mean, it might work, but it's not for me today, thanks.
Oh, penetrant.
Just the penetrant.
Oh, sorry.
The penetrant, cool.
Oh, don't do that!
Oh, we got it.
With the old sensor out and the new one in, it wasn't hard to see why my engine warning light had been on.
It's actually a two-piece O2 sensor that's going in the bin.
Right, I can finally put my back box on. I was missing something before. I was missing a clamp, which we now have, thanks to Adam at Evolution Auto Works. Thank you very much for that at very short notice. Just smash it off the bumper a couple times.
Do you need a hand, Will?
Nah, wouldn't have thought so. This is the mod I'm most excited about.
But then I ran into another problem.
So I'm missing another bit for my exhaust.
Another one.
This is what happens when you buy things used. Basically, the back of my exhaust isn't really
Attached.
buy things start up.
I'm aboard with this.
Now that is perfect.
Now we're focus SDing.
Not too loud, just right.
That's genuine excitement from this man.
All this suspension and other stuff. Wow. Look at that. Look at the size of those.
The next thing I'm doing, which is completely necessary and fixes all of the issues with this car, is polish my headlights because they're annoying me. Look how faded and nasty these are. So I'm gonna get a drill on this guy, see if we can polish him up a bit. And for that, we've got, this has just come in. Look at this, TDC tape. How cool is this? If you're covering a crevice, grab yourself in the shop some TDC tape.
While Edwin does that, I've got this new wing to fit. I was worried I was gonna have to buy an unpainted wing or a red one or something horrible, but this means my car will be the correct color and I can open my door and not look like I've just run down some pedestrians. I'm gonna replace the wing, but I'm not gonna replace the bumper. It may have a dent there, but everything else is fine. All the fog lights work, the grills are there, the number plate's there. So I'm only gonna replace this. Plus I save a little bit of money.
Before I reveal it, it's better, but unfortunately I used an old headlight restoration kit. It had some contaminated pads, so while the overall thing's better, there's just lots of things all over it that I can't get out. But I mean, before and after, that to that, it's a little bit better. I'm not happy, I'm really angry, I'm really annoyed. That wasn't on there, and now it's on there.
There we go. All the bits in here all look intact, and more importantly, the chassis does as well. Need to clear up some stuff down there and get me new one on. Look at that. Just been doing a little bit of alignment work, and look. Oh, we've got a door that opens more than where it was before. It is a slightly different colour, but I'm pleased I haven't had to got like one painted one or a red wing or something.
I've got one final mod, because I went and bought a facelift Civic Type R bumper, but my budget meant that I could only stretch to a very bad one. So it's completely held in with zip ties, it's really badly painted. I've just come to take the bumper off here and seen that this car is already doing its best impression of that one, because it's just held in with zip tie here. I mean, this is a quick release bumper, if ever I've seen one. The facelift bumper has a bit angrier of a front end, it looks a bit cooler.
That looks cool.
Yeah?
What goes there?
Tough to say, officer.
New bumper firmly held on with the original Honda clips and fasteners, I dropped my car down to see how the Civic looked with its new wheels and tyres.
Come on, bit lower, bit more. Ooh, that's good. That's better than I was expecting. That sad old EP3 starting to look good.
I was super happy with how the fitment had come out, so I pulled the Civic outside to see its final form in all of its glory.
Look at that. That awful looking Civic from the last episode. Look how clean it looks.
You are forgetting one thing. We both said we'd buy each other a mod.
Okay.
And your steering wheel's looking tatty. I thought that, you just can't let that run. You like steering wheels.
Yeah.
The one in your beat is pretty wild.
I don't like this. Where's this going? Well, can we agreed as well that we have to put on whatever the mod is?
I imagine just racing down the road with this on.
That's actually really pissed me off. I've spent the last 2 days trying to make this car nice and presentable, and
This was over £100.
you spent £100 on that.
That's how much I love you.
Right, well, I don't feel bad about my gift now. I know you could only afford to replace your wing, so you've got a nice proper wing now. And the last thing that's left that kind of signifies that this car's crashed is the bumper. So I've bought you, with my gift, a brand new bumper.
You bought your bumper?
I've bought you a new bumper.
Oh man, I feel awful. No.
It's a bumper. This one, look, it doesn't have any damage. You've got a brand new bumper, mate. There's 2 different blues, isn't there? I think I got the wrong blue. I got the other blue, didn't I? Electric orange and performance blue, they kind of...
Yeah.
No one will ever be able to tell this car's been in a crash. Good luck.
I actually have to fit this now.
Sake.
Right, now despite my bumper, which I am really annoyed about, I am overall pleased with how this car has come out. I've got a working headlight, which is from the previous episode, an orange bumper, but I've got a new wing, which means I can open my door. Some of my old tyres were looking pretty rough, so they're all sorted, some new Accelera 651s on there, so they are ready for some track action now. My springs, I'm also annoyed about. I've got lowering springs on the front, so it's very low at the front, and then normal ones at the back, so I've got rake. £250 went on an exhaust, but it's great. Lovely! Oh man, this is so good. Also, this is the exact same exhaust I had on my one like 9 years ago or whenever it was.
Apart from my heart steering wheel, I'm really happy with what I've done with this Civic. It was on the brink of being too far gone. I think this has been saved. Quick polish, nice new Evo wheels, and this thing, it looks smart. The front bumper looks a little bit sketchy, I'll give you that, but it was all I could do. Now, one other thing that you didn't see, that didn't arrive in time annoyingly, is that I used the last of my budget to buy the biggest induction kit I could physically find. And it sounds crazy. The VTEC now... That is ridiculous! I gotta check if it's still a Honda.
The only thing left to do was drive each other's cars for the first time since we bought them.
That is an odd feeling. The front is very hard, but the rear feels very soft. It also looks ridiculous on the road. It is tilted. It looks like an old Hot Wheels dragster going forward.
Right then, new big air filter. I'm gonna have to get one more of those.
This is fast. I'm not gonna tell him that. I'm gonna tell him it's slow and it feels like it's about to blow up, but damn it, this car's quite quick.
Oh my God, this steering wheel is awful. I do feel quite bad. My bumper's bad, but I can't see it when I'm in it. This, what in heavens?
I do also feel quite bad. I know Will loves this car, and I think he really will buy this after we're done with it. So I feel a bit bad having made him put the orange front bumper on it, but because he gave me that steering wheel, I just don't feel bad at all. He deserves every bit of it.
I feel bad for the steering wheel now. He spent so much time polishing this, finding the right wheels, what's the fitment like, are they gonna look good, getting the tyres on there, new brakes, and then I come along with this, and basically ruin everything. Now he looks like he's just started his OnlyFans and he's got his first paycheck.
Oh, it sounds so much better. An ST is one of those cars that you cannot have a standard exhaust on. What an absolute yob car. I love it.
Edwin's doing little pops and bangs in my car. Look at my tailpipes.
Click here if you want to watch the first episode where we bought these terrible cars for each other.